It is such a beautiful day today here in Hawaii, Nei. So welcome. I am Misty Padilla, born and raised here on Hawaii Island, and I'd like to take a minute to just go around and introduce the rest of the amazing ones in different parts of Hawaii right now. Let's go ahead and start with you, Chelsea.
Hi, so I'm Chelsea Fernandez. I live on Maui right now, and it is also a beautiful, actually, it's overcast. I'm looking at the window right now. It's overcast day, nice on Maui, not super blazing hot.
Beautiful. Welcome. Moving along to our most northern part of the islands, let's go ahead and say hello to Kat.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Kat. I am here on Kauai and looking forward to sharing some super helpful information about grocery stores here on the islands.
Beautiful. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us. And of course, taking us to the most southern point of the Hawaii Island, let's go ahead and say hello to Lonnie.
Hi guys, I'm Lonnie Mercado. I live on the south side of the Big Island down in the Kau district. We are really secluded out here, so this is going to be a great topic to talk about today. It's interesting when you're an hour plus away from Kona and an hour plus away from Hilo, the two major cities here on the Big Island. So it's going to be an interesting topic today.
Beautiful. And of course, fun fact, Lonnie, South Point is the most southern point of all things, right?
Absolutely.
You are in a very special location. So welcome, everyone. Let's go ahead and fire away with our topic today, living in Hawaii. We're going to be talking about a variety of grocery stores here. So again, e komo mai. Let's go ahead and start up. Shopping here in Hawaii, not only for groceries, but for everything you can possibly imagine. We know it is very challenging, but we embrace all these challenges and we pivot as we need. And we need to plan ahead of time, right, ladies? Feel free to chime in. We need to plan ahead of time and accordingly, because we're very limited with resources here. Yes, we live on multiple islands. We have tons of resources, but when we need to compare ourselves to those that have, the privilege of also living in the mainland, they have access to basically everything that we don't. And it just takes the long boat from China to bring everything over to Hawaii Nei. So again, e komo mai, let's go ahead and dive right into the grocery stores here in Hawaii. Let's go ahead and start with Walmart. Chelsea, go ahead and share with us the location of the Walmarts that you have available on Maui Island, and we can go ahead and talk about the different price points that these grocery stores have to offer.
Yeah, so our Walmart is actually right in Kahului. So right when you come out of the airport, you shoot straight across the highway and it's right on your left-hand side. It's one of the biggest department stores that we have on Maui. So a lot of people go there. And I looked up our price too for milk, and it's also that $5.98 here on Maui as well, same as Kona.
Very good. Yes. So for those watching, the price of milk will definitely vary throughout all these stores that you'll see. That's very expensive, considered to what people pay on the mainland. And so cost of living, in the Hawaiian Islands is not only pricey when it comes to land and homes and all the other things, but grocery shopping is very, very expensive here as well. You want to go ahead and share with us on the experience of Walmart, and let's go ahead and focus on the price of milk on Kauai as well.
Sure. So our Walmart is similar to Chelsea, where it is on Maui. So it's 5 minutes away. You get off the airport, you drive straight down the road, but ours is on the right-hand side. And it's right in Lihue. So it's centrally located. I haven't looked up the price of milk on Kauai at Walmart, but I'm sure, Walmart is pretty much, it's probably $5.98. I can look it up in a second, but it is one of our only big box stores too. Our island is small, so a lot of people do all of their shopping there for their school clothes, plus groceries, plus makeup, plus everything. So, and it is centrally located. So, and we only have one.
Very good. At least you have one.
Yeah.
I remember growing up in Kona when we didn't have Walmart, and to think like, oh my gosh, what did we do when we didn't have Walmart? I'll go ahead and let Lonnie share on Hawaii Island on the experience of Walmart, coming from the very one who worked there and dedicated her entire life to this corporation. Take it away, Lonnie.
Well, we're fortunate to have two Walmarts here on the Big Island. We have one in the Kona district, and then we also have one on the Hilo side, on the east side of the island. Both of them are fairly close in proximity to the airports. So same thing, once you get off the plane, you take a quick 5 to 7 minute drive and you're there. You can find everything plus milk at Walmart. Probably hands down the cheapest place to get majority of your canned goods and milk and things like that. However, the only thing that Walmart does not carry is fresh meats and things like that in a grander scale. We have some frozen beef. They have a lot of frozen section, but hands down probably the cheapest place across the state to get food and items. So
Yeah, actually, it's the cheapest that I've saw for milk, because Target's a penny away at $5.99.
My goodness. Lonnie, if I could just pick on you for a minute, since you're
Sure.
very well experienced with the corporation, being that we are living in the islands, did you ever experience having difficulty with shipment coming into Walmart? Because I'm sure, with everything that goes on and how we do need to be resourceful, as I mentioned earlier, is it very difficult for you folks to be receiving, items into the stores because we're on an island?
Sure. It definitely does take a lot more in the process as far as ordering goes. And so Walmart does have a great system as far as, keeping track of inventory in and inventory out. So I know they do their best to keep in stock. Of course, when you have times of hurricane season or, things of that sort, it's always best to prepare ahead of time. But as far as Walmart getting in shipments, we typically don't see at that time, we didn't see much issues as far as getting products to the shelves for the consumers.
Got it. You hit it on point. Whenever we have times of emergency here on the islands, everything gets wiped clean, where they have to start putting limits on families, right? Because everyone's buying out all the toilet paper, all the paper towels, all the milk, all the water.
Water, yes.
That is
we have to be
our
mindful
struggle on the island.
Definitely need to be mindful of everyone because we're all in the same situation in that case, right? So putting limits on things is not a bad thing. We just have to make sure that, like I said, we're better prepared. We know when hurricane season happens, if we just prepare and stock up beforehand, we don't have to create a frenzy at the stores.
Right? Absolutely. And fortunately, we also have the luxury of Target on our islands now. Target is a new thing for us. Again, here on Hawaii Island, I grew up where there was not a Target. There was not a Walmart, and Costco was also new at that time. Now I'm dating myself there. But let's go ahead and jump to Target now that it is another option that we get to look into. Share with us, Chelsea, on the experience of grocery shopping at Target.
Yeah, so Target is actually right across the street from Walmart right in Kahului. So it's you can choose. If you missed Walmart, you can just keep on going straight and you get to Target. But Target also is new on Maui. It wasn't even here when I first moved to Maui. That was 20 years ago. So it's a little bit more cleaner, I should say, because it's newer versus Walmart's been here for a little bit longer amount of time. But yeah, the milk here same as Oahu. It's $5.99.
Very competitive, right? Just different variety and branding, of course.
Right.
How about for you, Kat, on Kauai?
So Target on Kauai just arrived 3 years ago here, and everybody was stoked. So I was so excited because I grew up on the mainland, and it was just like, it was Target where I grew up. And it's funny now because my daughter calls it Target, which is that's a whole Gen Z thing. But it's great to have Target here. It replaced our Kmart, where our old Kmart was here. And it is in Lihue, centrally located, close to all the big box stores, close to Walmart, Costco, and Target's in there too. But I love it because there's more options. There's more, it's given our island more options for kind of gluten-free picks and, and for me, pre-made meals. And in the freezer section. So yeah, but with Kauai, on Kauai, Target just arrived. It was right after COVID, and everybody, it was an exciting time for everybody because we were like, oh yay, Target's here.
It's a big thing, and you only have one on that island, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So definitely a big thing. How about for you, Ann?
Absolutely.
You want to share with us about Target here on Hawaii Island?
Yeah, same thing with Walmart. We have 2 locations. We have Kona and Hilo. Same thing. They're all pretty much centrally located within close proximity of each other. So it's definitely a great option. If you don't find something at Walmart for some reason, you can go over to Target. Typically here on the islands, we don't have a huge array of things to do. But when we do shopping, we do all the stores in a day. And if you're a couponer, you're going to have coupons for all the different stores, right? And so that's probably a whole different show. But yeah, Target gives us a great variety. They have a lot of great produce over in Kona specifically, and a lot more variety of things. So Target's a great place to shop.
So
yeah, I
fun.
think Target too, at our Target on Maui, we have actually fresh produce. That's one thing that Walmart doesn't have, which Target has here.
Same here on Kauai.
Yeah.
Fresh
Same
produce.
here.
Yeah.
Big Island Walmart has a limited supply of produce. So you can find some things there, but Target in Kona definitely has a larger variety of fresh produce and things of that sort. So,
As I was going to make mention earlier, fun fact for the Target here on our island, I don't know if it's the same for the others, but Target is a hot spot for just hanging out, even on the weekends. That's where all the teenagers are in the parking lot, just hanging out. So those that are visiting, don't be surprised, don't be alarmed. Target is a hangout hotspot here on our island. Do you folks experience that on Maui and Kauai, Kat and Chelsea?
Well, here on Kauai, it is right next to Kukui Grove, which is the mall here. And so it's just a couple of steps up and you're at the mall. So it is the hangout, but here they're not really hanging out in the parking lot so much as inside and just walking around and hanging out inside because it's air conditioned.
Of course.
I don't think we have that experience here at our Target. Right next to our Target, there's a Planet Fitness. So not a lot of teenagers like to go there. And then it's just restaurants right around. So
Awesome.
here
Great.
on the Big Island, I just wanted to add really
Yes.
quickly, Misty, that here on the Big Island, our Target, where it's located, has a really great sized parking lot. And so on Fridays at the Target, we have food truck Fridays. And so that's something that also brings a lot of consumers out and about to hang out. So Target definitely, collaborates with the community, gets all these food trucks out there on Fridays. And it's a pretty consistent thing. It's every Friday, usually later in the evening around 5-ish, they'll start. But that's where you're going to see a lot more crowd too, is on Food Truck Fridays.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lonnie, for bringing that up. Great. Well, let's move on to one of our very most resourceful locations for shopping here is Costco. Now, again, as I made mention earlier, we did not have Costco growing up back in the day. And to think we've only had the little Manini, grocery stores, but now we have all the variety and it's so awesome and amazing. Chelsea, go ahead and share with us the experience of shopping in Costco on Maui.
Yeah, so Costco on Maui, again, we only have one. And this one is also, right? It's the first thing that you see when you get out of the airport. And we have the gas station too, that's right there. So a lot of people use the gas station when they're leaving or coming back in. But yes, Costco is, anytime that you go there, it's gonna be packed because everybody uses that one Costco. When you're coming in to visit, even, you can stop at Costco, get all their things before they head out to their condo or wherever they're going. If you're coming in to visit family, we stop at Costco, get all the stuff to load up your family's holiday. So Costco is a main stopping point here on Maui.
We are so grateful for Costco, especially for those, in the islands, we like to celebrate and do things big. We all have big families. We do big celebrations, and Costco has always been a saving grace for everyone. Kat, share with us your experience on Kauai.
Here on Kauai, Costco is the place to be. It's like you run into everybody that you know at Costco. And so you have to make time to say hello because it's like the gathering place, Costco. Everybody's doing their shopping there. It is the most cost-effective way to do all of your grocery shopping all in one place, all your clothes shopping, all your Christmas shopping, gifts, automotive, everything. So it's the one-stop shop where it makes sense. It just makes sense for everybody. And also, visitors come and gather all of their things, just like Chelsea was saying. You just stock up and then you're set for your stay here. And yeah, Costco and our location on Kauai is centrally located right across from Kukui Grove, across from Target, a little bit down the street from Walmart, down the street from the airport. So it's all in the same place. All the big box stores. Yeah.
One-stop shop, right?
Yeah.
Costco is the place
sure.
that you can go to and experience Christmas in the month of September. You walk in and I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, it's already Christmas. We've had Halloween, Thanksgiving, and boom, you just want to spend your whole paycheck in Costco. Lonnie, do you get that experience here on Hawaii Island? You tell me you do.
Yeah, definitely. Again, we have to plan ahead. We don't know when our shipments are coming, so we order in advance. And guess what? Christmas is here in September, right? But Costco, I agree. It's the one-stop shop. When my kids were young, I have 3 children. They're adults now, but when they were younger, it was just a place to go because you stock up in bulk, right? It's cheaper when you buy it in bulk, so it makes total sense. Especially when, like Misty said, we gather a lot. I coach softball, so we did a lot of fundraisers. Costco is a lifesaver. So we definitely go there and get a lot of our items. It's always busy here on the Big Island. We only have one, and it's actually probably the first thing you're going to run into from the airport on your way into Kona Town. And so a lot of the whole island will come to that one Costco because that's the only one we have. So when you make you plan your shopping day, plan it because you're going to be out there in the hustle and bustle of everybody planning their shopping day. So
yeah, for sure. So I grew up on the east side actually of the Big Island. And I remember those trips where my mom would be like, okay, we're going to Costco. And we're like, yes, go to Costco.
Like a big excursion, right?
It's excursion. And you get everybody's orders from the whole family. What do you guys want? We're going to Costco.
Yeah. And honestly, we don't have a slide on here, but the east side of the island also has what they call Cost You Less. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's very similar to Costco where you can get things in bulk. So the east side now has that available to them. They don't have to necessarily drive to Costco, but where else are you going to get $1.50 hot dog and drink for lunch, So, I mean, again, you make a day of it. You spend less on lunch. It's an adventure all day shopping.
For sure. Let's go ahead and move on. We'll keep this rolling. You'll see slides that pop up here. These are stores that we do not have in Hawaii, but just for comparison's sake, we want to go ahead and share the variety of supermarket options, that a lot of people are familiar with. We do not have this here in Hawaii. Moving on to the next slide. Again, we're showing a variety of supermarket chains that are known throughout the U.S. We do not have this in Hawaii as well. And I think, ladies, as you also experience, when we have guests that come to visit, and they'll start asking questions like, oh, do you have a Trader Joe's, or do you have this? Do you have that? No, we don't. We don't have all of that. But again, we embrace, the beauty of living in paradise. We just make do, right? That's just how it is. We just make do with what we have and use what resources that we do have available. We also don't have an Aldi. And continuing to move on, all these big brands, we do have a Safeway. Safeway is one of my very favorite places to shop. How about for you, Chelsea, in Maui? What is your experience with Safeway?
Yes, so Safeway is one of our, I guess we have one in every city. So there's one in Kahului. Actually, there's 2 in Kahului. There's one in Wailuku, one in Kihei, and one in Lahaina. And that's one of my go-tos. Like I buy bulk in Costco, and then throughout the week I'm going on the app and ordering my things and driving up, and they'd bring it to my car. That's how I shop at Safeway. It also helps me actually save money because I'm only ordering what I need and not getting sucked into the, oh, look at this is on sale.
Let's
But
talk
that's
about
how I
that app. Can you
Mhm.
elaborate more on that app? I've never used the Safeway app, so share with us
Oh, yeah.
an
So
experience.
I mean, it has all the coupons that you can do if you're into couponing, and all the different sales that they have. And if you're a Safeway member, everything is there on the app. So it's just like shopping in the store as price wise, but it's so easy. You just when you're sitting at your desk, you're like, oh, I need this, and this. Click pick up, and then there's a special section in the parking lot where you just drive up. You tell them what stall you're in, and they bring it out right to you.
Just like the Target app, just picking up
Exactly, the
produce.
Target app, yes.
Very
Mhm.
good. And then do you find them to be very, are they very accurate and thorough?
Yes, they are. So actually, when they start shopping, when your shoppers start shopping for you, they'll message you and say, "Hey, I'm starting to shop." And then if there's a lot of times like there's not in stock what I want, or so they'll take a picture of the shelf for me and like, which one do you want? Do you want a substitute? So they're really good.
That is so awesome. And like you said, it also saves you money. I do that for Target because I only like to pick up what I need. When you go in Target, you just go in for one item, but you come out with a load of items and like hundreds of dollars later. So
And
that's
then not the item you went in for, right?
exactly. Love that. Thank you for sharing. How about for you, Kat? What is your experience on Kauai with Safeway?
So we have two Safeways here on Kauai. There's one in Lihue, and then there's one on the east side in Kapa'a. And both of them are, I really love Safeway too, just because, but I'm going to use that app suggestion. I haven't tried that app either, but that
Yeah.
sounds like a great idea because yeah, I go do all the bulk shopping at Costco, then move on to Safeway for all the extra stuff, extra little
Mhm.
things. Um, and here at our Safeway, it's great because they have the $5 Friday deals where whatever it depends on the Friday and whatever they decide to put, but it's all like $5 deals. You can get bacon for $5, or whatever is on for $5 on Friday. So it's great. Yeah. Right. And so it's great. And here, and for me, it's great because I have an electric vehicle, so I can plug in my vehicle and do some shopping at Safeway, and then I'm off. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I don't
That
think we
was
have a
huge.
plug-in at our Safeway. If we did, I probably would go inside.
I want to touch on that now that you brought that up. On the islands, we do have, again, limited resources, especially when it comes to charging electric vehicles. So, Kat, thank you. That is a very important topic to touch on
Yeah.
because we do have those available, I want to say, at our Walmart, at our Target. I don't think Costco offers that. So, again, planning ahead, knowing where these charging stations are
Mhm.
is very, very important. So, thank you for sharing that. Lonnie, how
Yeah.
about you go ahead and share the experience on Hawaii Island for Safeway?
Definitely. We have two Safeways here on the island. So one in the Kona area that recently just moved. Well, it's been a little bit, but they relocated spots to a much larger space. So I definitely know that they offer a lot more in their new space. They have the pharmacy, which is great. I don't believe we have the app. I've never used it or never experienced it, but I will definitely try that now that Chelsea had brought that up. We also have the gas station that's now attached to our Safeway, which is amazing. Their prices are fairly comparable, if not lower than a lot of the surrounding gas stations, which is amazing. Then you can always use that Safeway card, right? You get 5 cents off or however much per gallon. So that's a nice added bonus to our Safeway over in the Kona area. Hilo also has one on the east side. So it's a great place to shop. Like Kat said, I really enjoy the $5 Fridays. That is definitely where you'll find me on Friday is at Safeway. You got to go early because everybody knows the secret. It's out, right? The secret's out. Fridays, $5 Fridays, Safeway is the place to be. So you
Right.
get there early, make sure you get your hands on the deals, and of course it's different every Friday. So But yeah, I like going to Safeway for a quick hot deli meal because they have that. They have sushi in there. You can make sandwiches and all the goods. And then, of course, they're going to have a Starbucks. So pop into Safeway, pay your registration. They got the kiosk over there. Jump over to $5 Friday, grab your stuff, grab a Starbucks on your way out.
Lonnie, you totally hit it on point. That Safeway gas station here in Kona is my absolute favorite place to be. My kids love the store. And of course, I love the space at the new Safeway gas station because Costco is just horrific with lines. And of course, it's in the industrial area. So there's a lot of traffic. The Safeway gas station is so nice and open and spacious. And I just love that. You also hit it on point for the kiosk. We do have a DMV kiosk in the Kona Safeway. I'm not sure if all you others offer the same, but that is a huge luxury for us because we all know going to the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles here in Hawaii, is definitely a challenge. So Safeway, we are so grateful that you do have that kiosk in there. Other areas that we'd like to touch on, these are stores that are not in Hawaii, but Dollar General, as you can see, not located in Hawaii, but again, just recognizing the variety of supermarket chains. I do want to touch on before we hit to organic is we have little shops throughout the island that we like to support, like the KTA Superstores, Matsuyama Food Marts. These are all local families that have been around since day one before all these big stores came about. We like to go ahead and support them as well. And I know produce there is definitely more expensive in those stores. I know before we jumped on the show, we all know here on Hawaii Island, Matsuyama store, that is probably one of the most expensive stores that we have, but yet everyone goes there, so they're very known for their name and their branding. And of course, for convenience, a lot of people don't like to drive into town to do all the big shopping. So we'll stop at all these other stores available, but just be ready to pay a little extra, saves you time of traveling into town. Let's go ahead and move on to organic food since we know this is such a huge topic everywhere. There's lots of allergies that people experience, gluten-free, vegan, you name it. Everyone has all these special requirements that they like to add to their diet or just have healthier living. So let's go ahead and touch on organic food. As you can see the map here across the island, you see all the different locations of healthy alternatives that we have. Let's go ahead and start with Maui. Chelsea, go ahead and share with us what alternatives we have on Maui Island.
Yeah, so we do have Whole Foods here. That's one of the bigger stores that we have. We also have smaller shops, like how you mentioned, which is Alive and Well, Mana Foods, Down to Earth. And then there's one in, those are all in Kahului Central area. Then we have one in Kihei called Hawaiian Moons. And it's bigger than those smaller shops, and has a lot of different variety of things. My favorite place actually is Alive and Well. So yesterday was the first time that I went there to order some lunch, and they have this thing where you can go in there and you choose what kind of juices that you want. And then so they'll make the fresh juice for you. And then you can go on a subscription and you can go there every month and pick up your case of juice for the month and have fresh juice for the entire month. So that was pretty cool when I went in Alive and Well.
That is so awesome. I wish I could say the same that we have on Hawaii Island. I'll let Lonnie share a little later on that. Go ahead and share the experience of natural alternative health food shopping on Kauai Island, Kat.
So yeah, we have a few different organic natural food stores here on Kauai. One of them is Papayas. It is in Kapa'a, and it is one of the largest health food, natural food stores. And it's great because they also have a grill there too, so you can get hot foods there too, and you can get your smoothies there, and also coffee, but then you have all of the choices of the natural food stores. And then in Lihue, there's a small little one called Vim and Vigor, which is great too, because they also have a lot of the supplements, and they also have Jenny's ice cream there. And it's the only place you can get Jenny's ice cream here on island, which is really great.
Is it healthy ice cream?
Yes, it is. Well, depends on what you say healthy is, but depends on the flavor. um, and then on the south side, we have Living Foods, which is in the Kukui'ula Shopping Center, and it has all of the health. They have some fresh produce there. They also have a grill and a coffee shop, and it's in the Kukui'ula Marketplace, so you can shop around there too. There's restaurants and everything. But I did want to also touch on the smaller stores, the smaller local grocery stores here that offer organic food too, like Big Save. Big Save Markets has been on Kauai forever, and it's locally owned. And it's also it's the comparison from, if you're not going to go to Safeway, you're going to go to Big Save. You're either going to go to Big Save or Safeway, because that's where you go. And then also Times Foods is part of Big Save, and that's in Kukui Grove Shopping Mall. And then also there's one Foodland in Princeville. We used to have a Foodland in Kapa'a, but it closed down during COVID. So now there's one Foodland up on the North Shore in Princeville. So, yep, those are all. And there's also Kilauea. In Kilauea, there's the Kilauea Marketplace that just opened up not too long ago, a few years ago. And it's gorgeous inside, super clean. They also have a restaurant there. It's great.
That is so awesome. That's great variety of options to have on Kauai, being one of the smaller islands, in our chain. How about you, Lani? Go ahead and share with us on Hawaii Island what our options are.
All right. So total disclaimer, I am probably not the person to tell you where to get organic food as far as purchasing. I just want to put that out there. I'm very resourceful and I can get you all those resources. I do know that we have Island Natural Foods in Delhi, in the Kona area. I believe they have one over in Pahoa. I personally grow majority of the things that I eat. And so that's probably as organic as I'm going to get. I don't really shop organic, but I know we have some up in the north area. I think it's called Healthway, over in Waikoloa Village. There's all these little mom and pop stores, health food stores, organic. You can get juices, just like Chelsea had mentioned. So I know they're all over the island. Again, I'm very resourceful and I can find those information out for you. But that is what we basically have here on the Hawaii Island. A lot of people that I know of do grow a lot of their vegetables and their fruits and things of that sort. So if you want to talk about that, we can go into that more in depth too.
That's so awesome, Lani. Thank you for sharing. Yes, living on the biggest island of all the Hawaiian islands here, Hawaii Island, there's a lot of farmers. So we also like to support our local families and all the farmers markets, which I'm sure is such a huge thing, for those that do come over to visit, and even for us locals, supporting the families at all of their at all of their markets in their homes. It's such a treat to see, and we love doing all of that. And of course, on the Big Island, we have tons and tons of farming. Everyone likes to, again, like Lani said, be resourceful, grow their own food, grow their own, grow and nurture their animals, again, to just in turn turn it to all these bigger department stores. So it's a big circle of life that we all experience, right? Chelsea, tell me, what is your favorite place to shop of all the things that we've talked about here this morning? Where is your favorite place to shop?
I would really have to say Safeway. Yeah. Because they do and Target too, because they do have
and Costco
more things. Yeah. And I mean, just like how Kat was saying, you park and then you can charge your car. Target has that. And then they give you 2 hours for free. So I'm in there. I'm like, okay, I can stay in here for 2 hours, charge my car up.
That's awesome. Again, being resourceful, right? You're in a one-stop shop. You got to do all the things you can possibly imagine in one stop. How about for you, Kat? Share with us your favorite.
Honestly, my favorite is Costco because it is the one-stop shop. I go in there, get everything for me, get everything for my kiddos, get everything. And we do have a charger at Costco too. It's not free, but there is one. And so if it's available, bloop, plug it in. So Costco is my go-to. And then I'll, swing by Safeway and then home. And then Target, and Target's always a treat because my daughter loves it. So we just, if she wants to go, then I'm like, okay, then we'll just mosey around. and then come out with like hundreds of dollars that we didn't need. But
'Cause you have to stop, right?
I know.
swear they like place these strategically
They
to
do.
They totally
and
do.
it's like subliminal messages. It's like, I just can't pass it and not stop. I have to literally go in and stop and spend money and buy all the things that we don't need.
So maybe the app is going to be a better better bet.
How about for you, Lonnie? Share with us your very favorite place to shop on Hawaii Island.
My very favorite place to shop is where the deals are. So I'm going to have to go with Walmart. It is probably the cheapest place, again, that you can get items. You can shop on their app. You can have it delivered out to your car. So if you don't want to go in and get those impulse shopping temptations, then you sit in your car, you wait for them to bring you your items. You save a ton of money, because I love saving money. So therefore, I will take a trip over to Safeway on the Fridays to save money there as well, and then find other shops that might have deals going on that week. But that is probably my favorite place, because it saves me a ton of money.
That is so great. Thank you for sharing. You know, ladies, as we wrap this up with our closing thoughts, Lonnie, you hit that magic word here, saving money. If we can just share our last closing thoughts and wrap up, typically, what do you folks anticipate spending in a month for your family to be able to live here in Hawaii? It is very, very pricey. We pay to live in paradise. We have to malama each other, malama the land that gives us all these resources, because again, we live in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and it does take a lot of time for things to get to us. Chelsea, to be able to share and afford to live in Hawaii, what does your family anticipate, spending, saving money and all the things? Typically, what do you spend on groceries a month, just to give us all an idea?
So I have a huge family. There's actually 5, 6, 7, 8 of us that live in my house right now. And then I have my daughter, who is also a family of 5, that comes here almost every day, because I babysit for her. This is the babysitting house. So I budget at least $800 to $900 a month, and that's going to Costco, 2 times,
Amazing.
and then Safeway in between.
That is so great. That's great. Great
Yeah.
budget. We're going to have to hit you up for all those pointers. How about for you, Kat? Share with us your closing thoughts, and of course, if you'd like to share on what to expect on budgeting for your family on Kauai.
I definitely need some pointers from you, Chelsea, because I have a family of 4, not as big as yours, and we spend about $1,000. We put aside $1,000 for groceries, but then also, I would just like to point out, make friends with your neighbors, make friends with your farmers, make friends with, everybody around you, because like our neighbor, they went out fishing, caught a huge ahi, and then they're like, here, have this amazing ahi steak.
Yummy.
And it was like, oh my gosh, yes, thank you. Or other friends had their star fruit tree was going off, and they're just like, take as much as you want, take as much as you want. And it's just and when our orange trees are going off, we're just like, we don't want them to just fall and rot on the ground. So we're giving to our neighbors, to like, here, have some banana, here, have some orange. So that's another way of just saving money, making friendships, and surviving. Yeah. And surviving. So besides just paying the big box stores, and shame on me, but I eat out a lot because I don't like to cook as much.
I hear you, I'm sure. And Lonnie is definitely one that we need to speak with when it comes to budgeting as well. So I'll go ahead and let Lonnie share that in her closing thoughts before we wrap it up.
Oh, raising the children, I definitely hear you guys on those budgets for buying food and providing for your families, especially being here in the middle of the Pacific, like we mentioned, getting things a little later than most people and at higher costs. So we learned too, as a family, because we were born and raised here on the islands, that to be very resourceful, just like Kat had mentioned, love thy neighbor, right? Switch apples and bananas and papayas and all the goods that you guys might have. We are avid bowl hunters, so we definitely utilize that as our quality time versus also filling up our freezer, right? So we try to be resourceful in that sense so that we can really cut down our budget. But, hit us up, because we can be your neighbor that's going to be sharing our catch with you, our fish with you, and all the goods. So definitely look into, when you move here, plant something, plant trees, fruit trees, plant your gardens. It's going to be something that's part of living in Hawaii, right? Is being outdoors. And so when you are resourceful like that, you can definitely cut your spending when you go to the big box stores and just get the things that you really want to get there.
That is absolutely beautiful. You folks hit on all the key words, is preparation, being resourceful, making friends with your family, with your neighbors and family, and just continue to just be one big happy ohana and share all the love and resources. That is super, super huge. I do have a big family. We have 10 children. Not all of them live in the house, but they eat like there's 10 people in the house. And we do spend grands. Like, it's crazy. I swear, we just work to pay for food. Every day, it's like, a pit stop here and there. We run multiple businesses. We are always on the go. So we eat on the go. And I do need a budgeting class. If you guys were to put us on a budget and say, Misty, your family only has like $900 to spend, and I swear they would all freak out and starve. So thank you for sharing that. And I think these are just all the key things that we all need to just take into consideration when living in Hawaii. Thank you, ladies. That was just beautiful. I think you all shared so much information on each island. Until we meet again, we'll see you all next week. And thank you for being here, and just continue to live aloha daily, everyone. Mahalo nui loa. Everybody say aloha.
Aloha. Ahuiho.
Thank you.